Hey, this is test run part 2 for the announcement that my sister Patricia Estrada and I are going to be hosting IG Lives every Monday for May being Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I'm just, again, this is a test run. We are going to wait for Patricia, who is at Esmeralda's Road, to jump on. Please give her a follow if you haven't yet. And she is coming in.
Hello.
Hi, sister. Welcome back.
Round
Glad
two,
to be doing
guys.
test run part 2, and you're indoors.
I'm indoors. I'm connected to my Wi-Fi. The lighting will be different, but at least we're in the space where we're going to be. Thank you guys for your patience as we figure this out. That way on Monday, things go as planned.
That's right. So what my sister and I are going to be doing is every Monday for May during Mental Health Awareness Month, we are going to be jumping on Instagram Live and having some very candid conversations around different mental health matters and topics, just because this journey of healing and mental health has been something pivotal to us living a fulfilling and much calmer life. Both my sister and I had, let's just say, like a traumatic and sometimes like a brutal childhood due to a number of different factors. So that led to our nervous system just being on high alert all the time. So as we were moving into professional roles, that came up and sort of blocked us and kept us from really reaching and achieving our potential. So now that we've been on this healing journey for a number of years, we talk about it all the time, and we just want more people to know, like, dude, what the fuck? How and why? Let's heal this so that we can all be better, right? Sis, what do you think?
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm super thankful for this opportunity. I love that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And actually, this is the kind of conversation that we have with our family often, because our brother also deals with his own issues that, our upbringing has affected each of us in completely different ways. And we have each dealt with it in completely different ways.
Right.
And what I had mentioned in our test run part 1 was that we are going to be jumping into the conversation with intergenerational trauma, because it is something that has affected each of us. And Veronica was mentioning that it's affected us on a genetic level, but also on a, what is it called? Like a nature versus nurture. So on a nurture level. So it's affected us in both ways. And before I even go off and say more about that, I do want to say that I'm just so thankful that we have each done our work separately. Not that you can't do your work together, but I had mentioned before that Veronica moved away when she was 18 to go to college. And up until that point, we were like inseparable for several reasons. And we had a really, really good relationship. And then when she left, she grew and was triggered in her own ways and did things her own way. And I went on my own way. And so our relationship really suffered during those years that she was in college. I was finishing high school, and then I moved to Georgia, and all these things happened. And she was, dealing with things, and I was dealing with things, but we didn't start doing our own mental health work until later. And,
Right.
and Veronica started before I did.
I think we both started around like late 20s, right? That's when I started, about when I was like 27 or so is when I really figured out that my lack of emotional mastery was getting in the way of everything I ever wanted to accomplish. and me being super emotional, even though I was super successful, it was just like, at a certain level, you can't get past it if you can't handle your emotions and you can't handle what life is throwing at you in the moment. If you lose it, like, people can see that, you know, and so it really impacts your ability to move up in a professional sense. So I think just all us being high achievers as well, is something that led us to just realize, like, oh my God, I can't keep showing up in the workplace like this, or in romantic relationships. That's another place where I had a lot of issues, because I was just really mean, and I would just have my partner be walking on eggshells, right? And that was all part of my trauma. That was all part of, like, the upbringing that we shared.
And I think that the intergenerational trauma aspect of it has a lot to do with being mean and being defensive and being ready to go at any time, you know?
And being raised in South Central, which was super dangerous, and we witnessed a lot of violence in South Central, that made us also always be, like, contentious. We were always like, you want to go? Like, we're going to fight right now. And, you know, that you and I also fought a lot too, because of that, just that
physically
constant fight or flight. Yeah. And we always would choose fight, right? We literally would fight physically. I'm sorry, but sorry if anybody's getting triggered. Do not get triggered.
Sorry, I know. We need to put trigger warnings on this thing, because we're going to be talking about all of it. But yeah. So basically, I'm just really thankful that you did your work. And I'm not going to lie, there was a time when you were doing your work and you were talking about things like reparenting, talking about things like how you talk to yourself, be gentle with yourself. And even though I started doing my work, like, let's say 3 years ago I started, I'm 33 now. So let's say I started doing my work like 29, 30. And even though I was already very aware of the fact that I needed to do something about all this trauma that I had, when Veronica would say things like, oh, you need to speak gently to yourself, or you should say this, or she would, like, send an email or an article that had something about, like, using gentle voices, it was so unnatural to me that I would be like, I would roll my eyes till 1988, you know, and I would be like, okay, whatever, Veronica, like, and I just, like, wouldn't even give it the time of day. It wasn't until like last year that I really truly started to talk to myself in a kinder way. So that we have, as you guys can see in this test run number 2, we've both got a lot of things that we've been through that we have managed to work through, and continue to work through, because mental health, it's a journey that goes on for forever, you know? And that's one of the beautiful things that I've learned in therapy, is that, and this is one of the things that we're going to discuss as well. One of the beautiful things that I've learned is that I went through this and I am okay, you know? It's like, not but, it's and, you know? And so all of that, I think, we're really excited to cover. And also, as I was mentioning earlier, the fact that we talk to our parents about this stuff, you know, both of our parents, my mom and my dad, they have very different perspectives, very different ideas. They accept it in different levels.
Right.
And so just like a couple of days ago, I was looking up information about, like, smiling depression, and, like, trying to find a video that I could share with one of my parents, so that they could, you know, see, you know, what I was talking about. And it was really, really hard to find that information online. So that's why we decided to start this series. And it just so happens to be that May is Mental Health Month, Mental Health Awareness Month, that we wanna create this as a resource, like, just 2 real people, sisters that have been through their own journeys and continue on this journey. And, like, we just want to talk about it because we want to remove the stigma. That's why I share all the stuff that I share on my own page. So thanks again for initiating this, sister.
Of course, totally. And for those of you just joining, we are talking about a series that we're going to be hosting every Monday on Instagram Live. we're going to be jumping on for brief conversations that have to do with mental health matters, just to raise awareness, remove some of the stigma, help our community, and really just share our personal stories, because we have been through a lot, and we are now at a place where we feel super comfortable, super proud actually to share it with everyone else. And like, doing the work is not easy, and we want you to know that you're not alone and that we're here. And we'll also be welcoming your questions during our Instagram live sessions that are going to be happening on Mondays. They're going to be on at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and 9 p.m.
Central Europe time.
Central Europe time. So Patricia, my sister, is in Florence. And so we're gonna, be making this as accessible as possible. We'll also be saving the lives, but would love to have y'all jump on while we're on there and come through with any questions, comments, or share your stories with us. And this is not just gonna be for May. It just happens to be starting in May, but we are gonna continue the dialogue, because it's so important. We don't want you to feel, again, like you're alone in this, and there's so much to talk about. So we're super excited to be doing this together and welcoming y'all into these private conversations, just to keep supporting each other and sharing different tools that are in our toolbox now after years and years of work.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for saying all that so well, sister. I'm really excited. I don't want to keep talking about it now, because we're going to talk about it on Monday. And like Veronica said, these are going to be brief conversations, 10 to 15 minutes. We don't want to ramble on for too long. And then we're going to be saving these because we want them to be accessible for everybody. And most of all, we want to destigmatize these conversations. I have no fear of being vulnerable on here. Well, about certain things. So we're all working on it, but yes, so we really look forward for you guys to join us. Again, it's going to be every Monday in May, and then afterwards it'll continue. We're not sure exactly how often, but definitely every Monday in May at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 9 p.m. CEST. So see you guys then.
See you then, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Ciao.